What is going on, everybody? This is Dr. Grimmett from Forge Physio. Today we are going over the foam roller hamstring bridge isometric. So this is a drill that's all about intent. You can make this as easy as you want or as hard as you want, depending on your setup position and how hard and intentional you are recruiting the muscles, being the hamstring and the calf complex. So just simply taking a foam roller, laying it on the ground, and then you're gonna get set up on your back. So when we go to put our foot on the foam roller, if I get my heel on the foam roller, it's gonna be a little bit easier. And if I get my foot too far back, meaning my toes are on the foam roller, it's gonna kind of take away the intent. So you almost want the foam roller to be not in the middle of the arch, slightly forward, almost under the balls of your feet. Because what you're gonna do to really change the muscle activation is you're gonna think about driving your heels off the ground, bringing your heel bone toward the ceiling when we get set up. So knees bent to about a 45-degree position to start, and then keeping your knees, your feet, and your hips in line. A lot of times people let their hips drift out, and then it turns into like a glute activation by doing like a hip thrust. So if you need to put a foam or a yoga block between your knees and squeeze it to keep your pelvis in neutral, do so. So I go arms crossed. I'm gonna push my low back down into the ground, and I'm gonna think about driving my heels off the ground. So heels up, low back into the ground, and then I'm just gonna pick my tailbone off the ground. I don't need to go high. I'm already starting to shake by holding this position. So the less intentional I am in my setup, makes it a lot easier, and I'm not getting as much muscle activation. So if you're somebody that cramps immediately and this is way too challenging, then you can scale it a couple different ways. One being, you don't push as hard into the foam roller. So you just kind of like let your feet relax and just try to bridge up and hold that position. The harder I push with my foam roller and really keeping my posterior pelvic tilt, the more I immediately feel that hamstring and calf complex turn on. If that's too easy for you, you just scoot the foam roller away from you a little bit, and it gets even more of that hamstring activation. And again, I really like that cue of arms crossed, low back into the ground, toes or heels up, meaning you're pushing your forefoot into the foam roller and then bridging up, and that'll immediately get those hamstring muscles to turn on. So check your setup, make sure that you're being intentional and the correct tissue that we want is being loaded.